Limited, Fatima Aliko Dangote, said the initiative was aimed at ensuring that the benefits of domestic refining translated into savings for businesses and consumers. The expansion was reportedly welcomed by the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, which said the initiative will reduce some of the financial and logistical pressures confronting independent petroleum marketers and contribute to lower prices for consumers. National Publicity Secretary and Public Relations Officer of ICMAN, Chinedu Ukadike, was quoted as saying that the initiative addressed a long-standing challenge in the petroleum products distribution chain, where marketers commit substantial funds to product purchases and may then wait for extended periods before their orders are loaded and transported. Oil prices fell on Monday as investors pressed for details of a U.S. plan to insulate the Iranian economy that President Donald Trump billed as the most crushing financial operation ever against Tehran. Asian stocks were mostly down in early trading, with South Korea's tech-rich Kospi falling 1.4% after Samsung Electronics said it spent a massive $80 billion to buy back its own shares following weeks of turbulent trading. The chip giant shares, along with those of rivals Hynix, peaked in June and optimism for the artificial intelligence boom, but have since fallen amid investor jitters and a broader tech rout. In an important week for AI, investors are also looking towards an earnings report from NVIDIA, the world's most valuable company and a bellwether for the sector. The recurring question for the U.S. chip maker is whether the AI boom will continue to accelerate as the technology takes over more corners of the broader economy. Chinese tech giant Alibaba is keeping focus on the sector after announcing on Sunday that it plans to issue $10.2 billion in new shares in Hong Kong to fund its global AI ambitions. The firm, known for its open-source Qwen AI models, have been plugging tens of billions of dollars into the technology, with shareholders eager to see how it will monetize the huge investment. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has warned 31 companies that emerged winners of 37 oil and gas blocks in the 2025 licensing round to pay their signature bonuses within the stipulated period or risk losing their provisional award. The Commission issued the warning exactly 1 month after it hosted the Commercial Bid Conference in Abuja, where the successful companies emerged as winners of the available blocks. In a notice, the Commission said the process of compliance with the payment of signature bonuses had commenced following the issuance of provisional awards to the successful bidders. The 37 blocks offered in the licensing round comprise petroleum prospecting licenses covering the Niger Delta onshore, shallow water and deep offshore areas, as well as frontier basins. The Commission also published the names of the 31 successful companies and the rank reserved bidders for each of the 37 blocks. A total of 143 companies participated in the licensing round, submitting about 200 bids for the 37 blocks. However, the theme of the 50 blocks initially put up for bidding attracted no bids. Major banks are experiencing delay in the release of their first-half financial results as the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, tightens examination and approval processes in a more intensive scrutiny of banks' assets and quality of earnings. History: 5 major banks: Guaranty Trust Holdings Company, GTCO, Access Holdings PLC, Zenith Bank International PLC, United Bank for Africa, UBA, and Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC, which control more than 2/3 of the banking industry, are facing greater scrutiny of their financial results. The banks in separate statements stated that they will not meet weekend's deadline for the release of their audited results for the first half of 2026, citing ongoing review of the financial statement by the CBN. Banks that had approved their audited results and submitted same for onward examination and approval by the Apex Bank said they were still awaiting final approval of the Apex Bank. Banks that cannot make public their audited reports and accounts without PIRO and final approval of the Apex Bank, GTCO, which had concluded its first half-year report by July 28 and was ordinarily required to submit the audited report this weekend, has sought for extended timeline to September 30th, 2026. And that is it on business news. Stay tuned for News Track at 2 p.m. on Global News at 6:30 p.m. But before then, enjoy the rest of our programs and have a very wonderful morning. Thanks for watching.